Welcome to the Geeks and Joysticks podcast. This is a show called What You Doing, where we talk about what we watch and play during the week. There were some big hitters out this week, and I got thoughts and opinions on all of them. I'm by myself this week, so let's get into it. Starting off with a little movie called Nobody. This is a Bob Odenkirk, aka Better Call Saul. So for y'all who don't know who Bob Odenkirk is, I didn't know who Bob Odenkirk was before Better Call Saul, to be fair. But it's about a bystander who intervenes to help a woman being harassed by a group of men becomes a target of a vengeful drug lord, aka older John Wick. So what happens is that there's a break-in in his house. He self-reflects whether or not to do something about it. He's put himself in a position where he can whoop some ass. He doesn't, and then he's like ridiculed throughout, I don't know, the first part of the movie. And then this part that IMDb says is when he snaps and he starts whooping ass in a bus. And one of the people he whoops ass and put in the hospital and survived by stabbing his throat with a straw is the cousin, I think it was, of a drug lord. Pretty John Wick basic stuff. We have evolved vocabulary to call anything that's just like kicking ass with guns John Wick. But I've seen all the John Wicks, but I haven't seen them in recent memory. So it's kind of like the Rambo situation where you just call people going crazy Rambo. But when you actually sit down and dissect it, John Wick is badass, son. But nothing to take away from Bob Odenkirk. He did a great job. But yeah, the movie touches upon how, because he's like a retired assassin, retired cleaner-upper. He's like the last person that you want to be seen, as he said in the movie. But he gets crazy. He gets bored of the same routine over and over again. We've all been there. I feel you, fool. I got you. There's some funny moments with the kitty cat bracelet where that's where he officially snaps. But oddly enough, you see Bob Odenkirk, you don't think, oh, he can kick my ass. He's the goofy guy from Better Call Saul. But I believe him. I believe him in the action because the way that they choreograph the action isn't like over the top unbelievable. I believe him. He gets hit, and he gets punched and he gets fucked up. And that's good. You do want someone who's OP just steamrolling anybody. And that's where John Wick kind of blares the line because he's killing all the assassins in New York City. And this guy's like struggling with 4 dudes on a bus. It does get to a point where he's like super pissed. And he starts to take a larger group of people out. But it's fun. Christopher Lloyd is also in this movie, aka Doc Brown, and he's whooping some ass. He was my MVP. That was fantastic to see old crusty ass Christopher Lloyd, legend, whoop some ass. It was fantastic. It's very fun action. There, towards the end, there's like a Home Alone situation where he booby traps this place. That was also very fun. It's just Doc Brown with a shotgun is fantastic. There was a setup for a sequel, like a heavy setup for a sequel. I'd be excited, honestly. When this trailer dropped and we talked about it in the pod, I was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. I see you, Bob Odenkirk. It looks entertaining for sure. It does look really, really fun. And that's exactly what this movie was. Entertaining and very, very, very fun. If you're into the John Wick style type movies, 100% recommend this movie as well. It's fantastic. Let's move along to something that I don't think I'm going to recommend to everybody. But we're in a Netflix portion of the show. Let's talk about Stowaway. Stowaway is a Netflix film starring Anna Kendricks, Daniel Day Kim, Shamir Anderson, and Toni Collette. So a 3-person crew on a mission to Mars faces an impossible choice when an unplanned passenger jeopardizes the lives of everyone on board. So basically they're on their way to Mars to see if life can be sustained up there. Daniel Day Kim, mijo, he is the biologist in it, I think. Anna Kendrick plays the doctor on board, and Toni Collette plays the captain. And Shamir Anderson, he got stuck up in one of the cupboards. It's not a cupboard, it's a fucking whatever. He was up there, right? And they found him, and now because everything is highly calculated for 3 people, it's a 2-year trip, and food is scarce and all that other stuff, oxygen because stuff got busted. You got to figure out a way to get to Mars and come back and all that other stuff, right? Visually, it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna put it up there with all these other space movies that have been out there, like Midnight Sky or Midnight whatever, the George Clooney one. There were some cool dizzying shots where the camera's going one way and the subject matter isn't moving, but the background is. I wanted to throw up a couple times. It was pretty cool. I appreciate that the premise isn't that super mega complicated. They do use big words that I'm like, huh? But still, typically with space movies is a lot like, we gotta get the thingy and the tanga and the tonga, and I'm like, what are you talking about, fool? I didn't understand. What do you mean the thingy and the tanga and the tonga? I don't know what you mean. This movie's like, no, 3 guys, but now there's 4, and only 3 can make it. So there's some conflicts whether or not to like just shoot them out the airlock, imposter style, Among Us status, just an imposter's been found and just shoot his ass out there. Stuff like that is being discussed, and they're trying to figure out a way to get back. It's okay. It really is okay. It's not the best space movie Netflix has put out there. I think it's gonna be forgotten. Performances were okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna sue them for my time. It was okay. It was really, really, really just okay. I was a little not confused, but I was like, towards the ending, like, oh, okay. That wasn't really okay. Explained a whole lot, It's just like, I was supposed to know that was going to happen. But yeah, like, it's okay. It's okay. It's an adventure. It's okay. It really is okay. If I had to put a score on it, 6.5, I guess. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Not terrible, but it's okay. Something I thought was going to be terrible, and I had Bubbles' little voice in the back of my head the whole time, is Shadow and Bone. This is a series also on Netflix. So it's about dark forces conspire against orphan mapmaker Alina Starkov when she unleashes an extraordinary power that could change the fate of the world. So this is a series on Netflix based on a series of books. Have not read the books. It stars esta morrita, Jessie May Lee. She was great. Archie Renault, amongst other things, but I guess the biggest name for me is Ben Barnes, aka Prince Caspian from fucking Chronicles Narnia Dos, and also because he was a great villain in the first season of The Punisher. Wink, wink, villain. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, villain. Now, I'm not winking. I'm blinking both eyes because I'm a tater tot. But y'all feel well. He's the fucking bad. He's the fucking bad guy. He's the fucking bad guy. All right, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He fine too. He cute as hell, dog. Everybody cute as hell in the show. So it has that YA young adult feel to it. A little Hunger Gamey stuff. It starts off kind of Game of Thronesy, where they throw a bunch of names and a bunch of things at you, hoping that it would stick. A lot of information, a lot of names, a lot of stuff to start off in the first couple episodes. Like, it's a little overwhelming that it's just like, your boy Stupido, you gotta tell me A, B, and C real easily. But it was a little much in the first few episodes where I was like, wait, what is holding on? What is going on? What the part is confusing is that they have these words for people who possess and can control magic. And there's a war going on. There's this giant circle pedo bubble in the middle of this world called the Fold. And in the Fold is all darkness and weird winged monsters. I forget what they're called. Volvos. Oh no, not Volvos. Volvos are scarier, according to Bubbles. Yeah, it's a cloud caca with animals, with winged monsters, right? And then, so this young lady produces light. So she is part of the prophecy of the the fucking summoning sun or some shit like that. Sun caller, some summoner. So Ben Barnes, aka Prince Caspian, was like, okay, we can use her to destroy the fold. He don't want to destroy the fold, but we'll, it's part of the show, man. So that part for me was a little, okay, whatever. It doesn't look CW. It looks really good, actually, I thought. The special effects doesn't look dookie. The magic was kind of cool. It was kind of like, okay, they split it up and they use different terms for like magic wielding people and other people. So it was like that disparaging. And I think there was like a word. There was a word to describe her as being Asian. I forgot what it was. Slew, I think it was. I don't know if that's an actual racial term. I should be looking it up. But in the show, they keep calling her, oh, she's half Slew, like implying that she's Asian. So yuck. I was like, okay, a little unnecessary. The show is a little inclusive and woke in this world. There's like, all kind of races all over the place, which was fantastic. It's great. And there, one of the characters in there is also a few of them are actually, from the LGBT community. Let's say there was I don't know if it was a drag queen. Was it? I think they were calling her she, so she could have been trans. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it was just very inclusive. I would just put it like that. There was a part. So the story is basically, okay, she's got powers. Let's get her to the palace and train her ass so she can save us, right? That's the main potato of the story. But we have these also branching with her best friend, aka lover, and he's like trying to get to her and all this bullshit. And then we got this clan of crows. They are called the three people, where one of the LGBT people's hanging it out, and then this other girl. That part, I wasn't, because it was like a whole separate side mission where their mission is to kidnap this young lady. I didn't really care for them, The gunslinger guy was cool. Jasper, I think his name was. He wields guns. The other guys, he kind of looks like Cody Rhodes from AEW wrestling. And this other chick who was very, very cool, very thiefy, like assassin-y, not like very cool. Their characters are cool. Their story, I didn't care. They just wanted to kidnap her for $1 million, whatever the fuck. And then these other branches start to come off with like this other girl and this other guy who I was like, okay, I don't care. What's going on with this girl, right? And the living in the palace, started from the bottom, now we here. That's her story. What's going on? I don't know no powers. She didn't know she had all these powers. So I was intrigued more by her story. I wish there was a little bit more fighting. I wish there was a little bit more gory. Might be like a fight or two per episode. Sometimes it does get gory, but it's like it's PG-14 or whatever. So it kind of blurs the line between like going full ham, but then there's like heads slicing off at the same time. So I just felt like they were trying to teeter-totter or something. I don't know. I wish there was like the gore was amped up just a little bit. There's also some love triangle bullshit. That's fine. That's where the YA feel comes in, Yeah, I wish they just trimmed the fat a little bit. There are 8 episodes, 50 minutes. There could have been 6 episodes, That's my favorite kind of shit. Disney Plus, I will get that to that a little later. Disney Plus is doing it right with the 6 episodes. You trim the fat. You trim the fat. I'm the fattest. I'm trimming fat right now. Why can't I say trim the fat? Trim the fat. I'm trying to trim the fat of my life, doc. So when there's fat on the show, I'm like, come on, you could have cut them out, But because I'm not a fan of the books, I've never read it or picked up any of those books of the series. I'm like, okay, maybe they're trying to stay faithful to the books, and maybe these are very pivotal pieces in the puzzle. Upon Googling, they're not. They were thrown in there. Excuse me. They were thrown in there as a bonus. They added them to the story. So I wish they trimmed that. So then my point is valid. You don't eliminate them because they're cool. The one gunslinger's cool, spinning guns and shit, and shooting shit in the face. That was fucking great. It's good. I would say 60% of each episode kind of follows them. And I was like, okay, I'll go back to the girl and the stag, and she needs to follow the stag and to become more powerful. So it's very magical in that way. compared to all the other magical shit that's Netflix has been pumping out, which I didn't even bother to watch. The Irregulars was the last one that I tried to watch, but I didn't like it. Talked about it on a couple of WATCHA DOINs ago. I wasn't a fan. This is really good. I would probably put it behind The Witcher in like fantasy action kind of story-ish. But it is kind of YA. It's kind of young adulty, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm growing hair down there. Hopefully I'm not get too old for this shit, you know. The Nevers on HBO is on my list. Probably whenever that finishes up, we'll talk about that. I want to see how that goes. But there's definitely a trend of like Victorian London with powers, gory stuff going on right now. You know, when Game of Thrones came out, and then we got Vikings, and then medieval. That was kind of a phase, and then zombies before that. I feel like we're in the young ladies with powers running around Victorian London, or you know that era, the 1800s, with different classes and whatnot. I feel like we're in that era of TV series right now. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Like I'm gonna tell Bubbles to go watch it. You know, I want to see how hard he tells me to go fuck off, but it's a good watch. I liked it. It was good. More seasons. Ben Barnes is great. It's good. It's good. It's about an 8. It's an 8. It's an 8. Yeah, I didn't score nobody. I give nobody an 8 as well. An 8 as well. It was very good. Something that's not an 8, that's a little higher than an 8, is, speaking of Disney Plus, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Fantastic. I kind of wish Felix was here so we can talk about it, but gotta keep it pushing. Y'all know what the hell Falcon and the Winter Soldier is. No fronting. So, following the events of the Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson, Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldiers, team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. Going in with after watching the trailer for this, we called it. It's going to be a buddy cop and trying to see somebody turn into Captain America, maybe, perhaps. That's exactly what this is. It looks like a goddamn movie. I said this on the pod with Bubbles. Almost to a fault, where Shang-Chi is an actual movie and that looks like a series. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for Disney or Marvel. Loki is looking like a movie, which is great. But then the movies have to step their level up. Y'all feel me? Banter. The banter's great. We love these characters. We know who they are. We know we know what they've been through. And I like that the show knows the shows knows that we like them, knows that we know them. You know, they don't disrespect us in any way. There wasn't a whole lot of there was fighting, but there wasn't a whole lot of superhero-y moments throughout the whole thing. I would say probably the first and last episode is where it feels like it's from a superhero movie. The other stuff is like investigation, talkie figuring out, but it's not boring at all. The villain is this young lady who started a revolution because between the events of Endgame, where half of the planet was disappeared, the people who stuck around are the people who are involved in this organization, and one world, one people. They're like, y'all are not gonna come in here after we were gone for so many years and just tell us what we're doing. That's not how we're gonna roll. So that's their point of view that they're standing upon, right? There's a fantastic Wakanda cameo. That was so great. When the music kicked in, so happy, Doug. That was great. And then the fighting, that shit got me even more excited for the upcoming Wakanda series coming. We got some old school villains coming in. That was great. The fucking Dora Milaje though. That's fucking great. The little girl, I keep calling her a little girl because she's obviously probably younger than me. She's scary though, you know. These people in this organization took the serum, obviously the serum that's running through the Winter Soldier's veins. So they're powerful, you know. They strong, right? And you know, we got new Captain America coming in, and I talked about this with Bubbles. We were all kind of like, Fucci, fuck this guy, right? But he did a good job, the actor, in invoking that emotion from us, like, no, tu no way, we don't want you. you know. And halfway throughout the series, I would say that it became less about Bucky and Sam's relationship and more about like being an ass to each other, you know. But the main takeaway is spoilers. If you haven't seen it and you want to go see it now. I'm going to spoily spoils. Spoily spoils is that Sam Wilson is officially Captain America. And that is great. So that's basically what this whole show is like backstory to how Sam became Captain America. He is Captain America now. We all thought that was, but I like that the show took it like, okay, that's something that we can explain in a show form. That was great. So yeah, the show is the bridge between Falcon and Captain, and to the conclusion that the show was like, oh, Captain and the Winter Soldier. I did read that there will be more seasons of Captain and the Winter Soldier. We'll have multiple seasons as well as Loki. I think WandaVision was just like a one hitter. I don't think there will be a second season on that. And I wouldn't mind it, you know, if we get to experience her story in Doctor Strange 2, that'd be fantastic. I wouldn't be mad at it. Fake ass Captain America turns into U.S. agent. That story, please keep it on the series. Don't bring him into the movies. This is not a shot on him. He's great. I just feel like he's not big enough or matters enough to be a part of like the movie cinematic, like the MCU, the you know, cinematic. I don't know. Just stay. He could be over there. And this is basically a problem that I have with Marvel properties. Like, who's worthy enough, right, to deserve superheroes to be involved in your villain shenanigans? You know, I didn't feel like the WandaVision villain needed Thor to stop doing what he's doing and come out and kick some ass. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with this. Sometimes they would have, in the movies, have a bigger villain that's like, okay, this is kind of a big deal. Why wouldn't you call your friends to come and help you? I like that it's staying in their lane. You know, I very much appreciate that. And I feel like the U.S. agent is in this lane. Keep him in this lane. Same with the organization people. Don't blend them in with that. There's a problem over here. You know, cinematic universes, we're doing other stuff over here. You know, Shang-Chi, traveling dimensions and all this. Hey, keep it there. U.S. agent, keep him here. Don't move him all. He's great. No. Yeah, he's fantastic. I want more seasons of this. Like I said before, it's 6 episodes, 40 minutes. They trimmed the fat, and it's fantastic. I thought it was great. Of course, Felix thought that this was better than Wanda. I disagree. I don't think it's better than Wanda. I think it's about the same, quality-wise, entertainment value-wise. They're about the same. The worlds are completely different. The way that the product is presented to you is 100% different. It's different. One's sitcom-y, weird, funky, weird-ass shit, and this is a straight-up, you know, shooty, boop-boop, pew-pews, and boom-booms, which WandaVision didn't have at all. Only towards the end where there's a mega battle. I don't think there was there was some runaway whatever with other side characters. But this one had a fight every episode, right? I thought it was great. We got GSP, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to mixed martial artists acting. That was great. I thought it was fantastic. I did feel that the Captain America suit with the wings, with the Wakandan Captain America suit, looked kind of boyish. Not boyish as in like kitty, but if you take him and put him in boys, I'd be like, oh, that's the America's Captain right there on the show Boys, you know. But they stayed pretty faithful to the comic. Sam Wilson just recently became Captain America in 2014, according to the comics, and that design is what is taking place in this one. So that's pretty great. It's pretty cool. I mean, y'all watched it already. You know, y'all watched it already. Leave a comment down below, and everything that we're talking about what you guys thought about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, kind of especially. Well, this next one as well. I'm curious, guys, what you already got in a debate and a fight and everything about this last one. But if you guys like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you want more seasons, y'all stoked for Loki, all that good stuff, leave it in the comments down below. For this last one, which is Mortal Kombat, this is pre-recorded with me and Bubbles. So take it away, me. Thank you, me. All right, Bubbles, we just finished watching Mortal Kombat on HBO Max. It's the movie that just released today. So, yeah. So, shout outs to Future Me. What's good, Future Me? How you doing? Mortal Kombat is about the MMA fighter Cole Young seeks out Earth's greatest champions in order to stand against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. Pretty run-of-the-mill Mortal Kombat shit. Bubbles, if you ever played a Mortal Kombat game, you just had it's the ninth tournament, and we can't lose no more. We need the Earth's greatest champions to fight in the battle of Mortal Kombat. Funny enough, kind of spoiler alert, the tournament never takes place. That's facts.
Spoiler
alert, a little bit. Let's break this movie down, Bubbles. What do you thought about the cast of HBO's Mortal Kombat?
For the most part, I think it was pretty good, pretty accurate. I was a little thrown off at first by Liu Kang and his cousin
Kung Lao,
because they look younger.
Oh yeah,
but they're fucking hot, so that's good. I wouldn't mind me.
Pero no fue en el Shang-Chi, güey.
Too bad.
Do you think they're hotter than Shang-Chi?
Fuck yeah.
We were just arguing about this on the pod.
Yeah, I thought
go check that out.
Yeah.
Damn.
I wouldn't mind being a roasted chicken between those two.
The Kung Laos and the Liu Kangs?
Yeah.
Damn. Even the main guy, you like the main guy, Louis Tan?
Even he was fucking hot.
Damn. So you really don't like
That's why
Shang-Chi.
I tell you, like, they have like these like movie star look, or not even movie star, but like
I thought you were just hating on that guy.
He just looked like a regular schmegler guy, and if that's what they're going for, good, I guess.
This is just personal. I would have liked to see Sonya Blade played by Ronda Rousey maybe a little bit, even though she doesn't have any acting skills. She did portray her in the last video game. She was good there. Not hating on Jessica McNamee. I don't know. Never seen her before. She did a very good job. Just personal fan wise, I would have liked to have her, Ronda Rousey, portray Sonya Blade. There isn't really any big stars. I would say the biggest star is Hiroyuki Sanada. We've seen him in tons of movies, especially in the Japanese language. Twilight Samurai, he's in The Wolverine. He's in Endgame as Akihiko, amongst other things. I thought Jax was great. Raiden is the one that I have a problem with. His accent was thick, and at times, even though he was an Asian guy, he did come off sounding as... Did he sound like Arnold to you at all?
No.
He was sounding like Arnold to me.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
I wasn't...
Horrible casting choice.
I didn't like that one.
He doesn't scream Raiden.
No. He's not imposing. He doesn't look like a god. Like, he wasn't physically imposing. He felt small. I like the eyes and the design of everything, of everybody. But those were our thoughts on the cast. Are you a big Mortal Kombat fan? We dabble. Right?
It's one of my favorite fighting games, I guess.
Top 3?
I guess. No,
4. Top 4?
It's in the top 10, 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Like, we've played almost every entry.
Yeah.
And the spin-offs if they look good. So yeah, the story is basically, it doesn't revolve around Liu Kang, which I liked. It revolves around Cole, who is a descendant from of Hanzo Hasashi's, aka Scorpion, who later becomes in the movie.
spoiler alert.
We know all this. It's on the trailer. So Bihan kills Hanzo Hasashi's family. Typical Scorpion Sub-Zero battles that we've had throughout all these countless installments. Only in this installment, Scorpion is the good guy, Sub-Zero bad guy. And I like how they played with those things where even Kano, for the most part, is a good guy.
I don't think he was ever good.
But he was working for the good guys.
Mm.
I'm trying not to spoil. But let's break down the movie. What do you thought about the fighting and the violence?
I think it was a good balance. I thought it was going to be a lot of blood everywhere, like nonsense.
Nonsenseless blood.
Yeah, like for everything. But it wasn't. It was controlled. It made sense. I got a little blue lips on fatalities. I think I would have liked more. There was a scene where it could have se prestó for
It lent itself
for a good fatality, and it didn't happen. It gave me blue lips.
Which one?
Jax versus the Hammer guy, which has he been in other?
That was a fatality. That's an OG fatality.
But I wanted him to fall.
Okay.
That would have been more.
Well, because that's because of the that scene lend itself, as you said. They should have switched out the characters because they did end up doing that fatality.
I think I would have liked more iconic stages.
There was a handful. There was one inside of a trailer park which was not cool. I didn't like that one.
Okay.
Like that I didn't like that one at all.
You didn't like the battle?
I didn't like the setting of the trailer park for that fight. They were on the desert. You could have been in the desert or something else. Like a trailer park. It kind of gave me Kill Bill fight when they were fighting in the trailer. A little bit.
Okay.
It was less Mortal Kombat, more Kill Bill. But yeah, I will piggyback on what you said. There is cool fighting, choreography fighting, and then in between, there's gore. That was a concern of mine of how gore could they go, because that's what Mortal Kombat video games are known for. They try to push the envelope on the gore every single time of how crazy. I don't feel like this went too crazy. There was one that was the craziest. We can all agree on that, right? There was one that was foul.
I don't know if we think about the same. Probably.
Yeah, it's the Kung Lao one.
Okay, yeah.
That was foul.
That was cool.
That was dope. That was foul in the good way. I like that. The choreography was great. Everyone could fight. I liked how they were respecting each character's fighting. The way their style was good. They portrayed the characters correctly. What?
How do you feel about the addition of this new guy?
I like that because I wouldn't want to keep following Liu Kang as the other two movies did. I like the inclusion of new guys. Also, what the series does is they also implement new characters as new games keep coming. So I like that. You didn't like him?
No.
You didn't?
No.
I wasn't a fan of his power, but they call it something else. I wasn't a fan of that, but I was a fan of him being a part of the movie. I wasn't like Fuchi. You were Fuchi?
I just thought it was maybe unnecessary. I don't know if they took that to make the movie more like to give it a different spin and more mainstream. Probably like I don't know, like if they'd use him to make it not so much like a movie right out of the game, but like something else. I don't know. I'm not convinced about him. It wasn't
a character.
As a character, his participation wasn't foul.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole character and his power is kind of like, at some point I was like, okay, this is very Soul Calibur. This is very something else.
What would you rather have instead?
Just another existing character. I don't know. Just try to spin the
An
story.
existing character?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch.
Yeah, but which one of them deserves to be the star? Not many.
I think it would have been cool just to start like with Sonya and Jax and who was the other one?
That was it. Kano.
I would have added Johnny Cage maybe on this one.
They're saving him, but we'll get into that later.
But I would have just thrown it here, being that he's an OG, and just have them somehow meet with the other two.
That is not their plans, but I get what you're seeing. That's too close to the movie, to the old movie, though. I feel like they were trying to separate themselves for the first two movies, and the best way to do that is to insert someone else.
But they brought a lot of the same things, so
they
really.
did, but because it's also a Mortal Kombat movie, man.
Exactly.
The story is always the same. NetherRealm is coming to destroy Earth. You need the Earth's mightiest champions to fight. That's just how it goes.
I just don't like the whole new guy. I don't think it fits that well, like with the fighting and the. It was kind of like very forced, I think. I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
It wasn't foul. It was just like maybe
because
it's
I try to visualize him in the game, and he's not cool.
No, huh?
No. I'm trying to visualize his power and everything he had as in the game, and it's not cool. They should have given him a different power, maybe. But they made him a descendant from a Scorpion, so that's kind of cool. I thought he was going to become Scorpion or something later on. Try not to spoil. But anyway. So they do mess with conventions like that I found pretty cool. Going back to designs, I don't like when Reptile is an actual reptile.
I was confused.
I like when he's the green guy.
I was like, is this supposed to be the
Yeah.
reptile, or is this just a reptile that came from the other world?
Well, there wasn't any indication of who sent him or what. He just appeared and started finding them in the trailer once again.
It was very weird because again, that's not very Mortal Kombat,
Right.
Because there are plenty of fighting games that have
Mm-hmm.
like lizard-like men's fighting.
Right.
So this was like, okay.
That's why I don't like the design of Reptile as a reptile.
And
again,
I thought
I'm not
that
spoiling. It's in the trailer.
I thought that at some point he was going to become like a human form. So I was like, okay, this is fine.
Like a chameleon.
Been there, happened.
No.
Spoiler.
No. But yeah, another concern of mine was because the series has a bunch of cheese. If you play the story modes on the other games, there is a lot of cheese, and I was trying to see how the cheese would translate to the movie. I thought it did pretty well. There was parts where there's cheesy lines. There's, after a battle, they would say something kind of cheesy, kind of foul. I didn't think it was too cheesy. Did you?
No.
It did a good job.
It's not as cheesy as the other ones.
No. Again, the same thing I said as King Kong. Because the plot and the source material is so weird and strange already, they did the best job they could have done with that. It's a reptile guy. It's a Lord Raiden, a guy that shoots lightning out of his fingers. It's a weird thing. What I wish they would have done a little bit better was, this is something that I like better from the OGs. They would kind of set up the fight, like in the game, this guy against this guy. Mm-hmm. In the movie, they just started fighting. I would have wanted a little more cinematic view of like, all right, this guy contra este way, and even if it might be cheesy to go fight or whatever,
mm-hmm.
but they would just be arguing and then start fighting, and that's the fight. I wasn't a fan of that. The other one, the first one that comes to mind always is in the OG is Scorpion versus Johnny Cage. When they're in the woods,
mm-hmm.
there's a standoff. I wish there was a little bit more standoffs. Did you agree or no?
Yeah, but then again, I feel like that one was the tournament happening.
Yeah.
And this one was like pre-tournament, so it wasn't like, it was just like a brawl.
Right.
So I kind of get that. I'm not mad about it.
You touched upon this. I do wish there was a little bit more stages. There was one or two that I only recognized. Fatalities were great. Again, they implement some of the cheese there. One final thing before we go to MVPs. Do you think someone who has no clue what the fuck Mortal Kombat is, which I would find that insane that someone who does not know what Mortal Kombat is watch this movie, you think they can watch that movie and enjoy it and get it? That's the opinion I would like to know from those people who are like, what is Mortal Kombat?
I think it would be kind of strange
for them.
Yeah, like it would be a lot. Like, there's a lizard man, there's an ogre with 6 fucking arms. What the fuck is going on with these bitches' mouth? Yeah. Like, it'd be confusing, but I think it would still be a good time because of all of the violence going on.
Right. How'd you think Goro looked? He looked okay. He didn't look foul.
No, he looked alright. I don't remember looking at... I would like maybe his face to be a little... I don't know.
He was giving me World of Warcraft vibes.
I was missing something, but it's not foul.
No, it's not foul.
I still think maybe the first one's better, but I haven't seen the first one in a while.
Oh, because the first one they use practical effects, so there's no practical's always going to beat CGI.
Melina's makeup was like okay. I didn't like it.
I did like when she opened her mouth and the ripples.
Yeah, that was cool because I didn't thought that was gonna happen.
Right.
That's why I was like, okay, this is not making it up for the whole mouth. Like,
right.
This looks like she just ate barbecue real bad and she has a mess in her mouth.
Yeah.
But that happened. That was cool.
They didn't use a whole lot of characters, and they used a couple of obscure ones. There was one or two that was kind of like, oh yeah, that guy. And I think I think the lady was made up, right?
Which one?
Like the siren, the winged lady.
I think I've seen a character like that.
I think I've seen it too, but I don't think
Armageddon,
it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's one for the GameCube, I think. I don't know.
I can't remember who it was, but it was a little obscure even to us. So I like the spread of characters that they used.
I didn't like the villains, the way he looked.
Shang Tsung?
Yeah, he didn't look like Shang Tsung to me.
That was a different take on Shang Tsung. That's fair. For me, the OG Shang Tsung will always be the one from the first movie. Your soul is mine, bruh. MVP Bubbles. Let's say it at the same time.
Already?
What do you mean already? You got more to say?
It was just the little like hints and things, little
Easter eggs. Yeah.
I was confused because I saw Katana's fan.
Right.
So I don't know if she's already with them or she was just taking a shit.
This is very much setting up for more movies, to the point where the actor who plays Sub-Zero signed up for 4 movies in case this is a hit, which I believe it is. Now, do I want 4 Mortal Kombats? No, because by the 3rd one, you're going to probably, max out what you could possibly do with it. I don't want that. I want it to be good. I don't want to have one good one, the second one, kind of, the 3rd one, caca, and the 4th one, caca. I don't want that. But we'll get into the sequels after MVPs, unless you have anything else to add. Yeah, there was Easter eggs. There was hints of other people. There was lore. There was a picture of Nightwolf. There was other mentions of people back then running around
from the noise games.
Pictures, yeah. MVP.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Kano. Yeah, without a fucking doubt.
Surprising.
I would have never guessed going into this movie.
I'm shocked.
I would say Kano is the MVP of this movie.
I'd dare to say if he was not in the movie would have been very bad.
Yes, that is 100% facts, Bubbles. You're speaking facts. You never speak facts. That's facts, Bubbles.
It's crazy. He made the movie.
Kano made the movie.
Now, he gone.
I mean, don't spoil.
No spoilers, but
But he's not, though.
He's not?
No. He's not. He can't. I won't let it happen. I'm gonna start hashtag free Kano. No, there's no. That's not even a spoiler. Try not to spoil, but no, he's not gone because they back around. They move it, or it's Mortal Kombat. They're gonna do whatever they want with it. He was the comedic relief of the movie. He was so fucking funny. His accent makes it 20 times great. He provided some of the cheese, but the way he said the cheese, it was great. Kano was a fucking MVP. Who played Kano?
It was so weird because it didn't feel like acting. It look so natural to him. Like he was
Kano.
It was so fucking weird.
Josh Lawson is our MVP for Mortal Kombat. He was great. He's from Australia. He was fucking great. MVP. The shooketh of the shook, Bubbles?
I'm shook.
I would have never guessed it. I would have said, oh, maybe Scorpion was going to be my MVP. No. Fucking Kano. Great. So as this setting up more movies, Bubbles, it was evident, a little spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. It was evident as you mentioned him, and I kind of told you to shut up. Johnny Cage is obviously going to appear in the second one. Who else? Obviously, I know Kitana. Is it Kitana? Kitana or Kitana? Kitana.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Kitana. Who else would you like to make an appearance in the second one? And the reason why I was like, oh no, they're not going to eliminate him is because he like sucked them up in the black shit, and he said death is only a form of transportation or whatever, meaning they're going to be in a different realm and they're going to come back maybe dead Kano or whatever. But who didn't appear would you like to appear?
There's a bunch. Maybe I like Nightwolf. I think it's pretty cool. I think Rain would be kind of cool.
Rain is kind of obscure.
I mean, Jade has to be there somehow.
The robots.
I thought the robots were gonna be on this one, but it was Cabal.
Yeah, it was
He
Cabal.
looked kind of robot-y.
Yeah, his helmet was a little robot-y. I would agree with that.
Sindel.
Well, if you have Kitana, then you're gonna have to dabble in her story, but that's too close to the second one.
But she's a big character.
She is, but that doesn't mean you have to have Sindel. I would really want Quan Chi. He wasn't in any of the other ones. And I would love him to be the guy who resurrects these fools that died in this movie. I said spoiler alert, so fuck it.
I don't know, but like maybe for them to bring like from the newer games.
Yeah.
That would be like, oh, it's pretty like
Aaron Black.
Like the little guy and the big ass guy.
Theron and whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The insect lady will be very complicated, but it might be cool to see.
She would dope. Yeah, I mean, you can't go too crazy because she would be CGI.
Yeah.
You know? So the more human-like, the better. Johnny Cage is an easy one. He's going to be in it. That was the teaser. That was the last thing that appeared. So yeah, that's what we're going to get in the second one. Most likely them running around collecting more fuckers. Right? More champions. Score at Bubble so we can get the fuck out of here. What'd you think you were going to give it? And what'd you give it? I thought I was going to give it a 6.
I don't think I was already I didn't have a previous score.
No,
I'm not a judgy bitch like that.
I mean, you are. Come on, bitch. It's not that hard.
7.5.
Why are you struggling?
Because it's because it's from a video game.
So?
And video game movies are hard to make good.
And they did a good job by making it good.
It was decent, yes.
You think it was decent?
Yes.
I call it good. That was an 8.
Okay.
That was an 8.
Okay.
It's top 3 best video game movies. Easy. No?
I don't know.
It's Sonic, Mortal Kombat, and I don't know what the third one would be. Tomb Raider, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
It was great.
What about Skull Penguin?
That was a comic. That was a manga. That wasn't a video game.
It's a video game now.
That's not how that works, pendeja.
It is.
No, it's not. You can't just make up rules.
Sorry. Well, that's your top 3. That's fine.
It was fantastic. It was great. Go watch it on HBO Max if you can. Back to Past Me. Say goodbye, Bubbles.
Fuck you, pass you.
All right, thank you, me. That was great. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought about Mortal Kombat as well. And like I said before, everything I've been talking about today, thank you for joining me. This was What You Doing. You can follow me at Enterprises, Paurazas, on the Instagram and the Facebook if you like. We also have a page on Facebook, Geeks, Flicks, and Joysticks. I post kind of like a behind the scenes, kind of like just like the topics maybe we'll be talking about, whatever trailers, whatever I can post there, I'll post it up there. Also on the Instagram, Geeks, Flicks, and Joysticks on the Instagram. You can follow Bubbles at Alex_Mac211 and my ghostly friend, which I miss you, fool. Where you at? I know exactly where you at, but hopefully we get him next week or in a couple weeks, whatever, with a however tongues it makes. He's moving, so he has no internet. That's not a secret. Who gives a fuck, right? He just in a new place, you know what I'm saying? No internets. We working on it though, right? I miss you, fool. Miss you, fool. Yeah, go follow him at Jafel91 over there on the Insties. You can catch the podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, all those good stuff. Y'all already know. It's been What You Doing, and don't forget, always and forever, you do you. Bye. Pop. I do everything always. Hey, you.